Hi everyone, this is Sam Shakespeare coming to you live from the Malibu trade room with Forex Malibu. What I want to do for this first tutorial video is kind of just give you an overview of the grids. These are Dynamic Fibonacci Grids created by Mr. Andy Shearman. We trade with these grids every day live under the tutelage of Andy. And we are a part of an online trade room with hundreds of other professional traders. We're all trading these grids with Andy and the FX MoneyMap team. Uh, again, my name is Sam Shakespeare. I am the global trainer for the FX MoneyMap, and I also run the Malibu trade room and run the session after Andy, after New York session every day. So what I'd like to do is give you a brief overview of what it is we're even looking at. To experienced traders, they look at these grids sometimes and they see confusion. It's just a different way to look at the market, and that's one thing I want to get across is these grids are not a strategy. They are simply a way to view the market. Okay, and so that's what we're here to show you is how to look at these. First thing I'd like to show you is notice that these grids here have 4 columns. Okay, there's a 1-minute column, a 5-minute column, a 15-minute column, and a 60-minute column. This happens to be the pound-dollar grid. And the easiest way to look at these grids look at it like a 4-lane highway. Now, the current price is here at 144.04. Okay, that's the current sell price. That is your car. You're driving on this car, and this is a 4-lane highway. Now, everywhere else you see a number, which is a chart point, we call these slow cars. Look at these other numbers as kind of like a car driving on the road. Now, normally, it's easier to drive down roads with no traffic. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for roads, clear roads on all 4 time frames. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about the strategies a little later. What I want to do right now is just break down what it is we're looking at. Okay? Now, where do we get these numbers? These numbers are calculated through the Dynamic Fibonacci Wave principle. And what I want you to notice is, on the 1-minute chart, every number is a support or resistance level based on dynamic Fibonacci derived from the 1-minute chart. So the 1-minute column corresponds to the 1-minute chart. Okay, you can see on these columns how there's blue band shades, and they change. They start middle, they're white, then as they radiate outwards, they get a little bit darker. Oh, we just had a big move on pound dollar, big drop there. Not huge, but about an 8-pip tick. So you see these color band shades. Okay, they correspond with the color band shades on the chart. Now, if you see right in this area where the band shade comes up to it, okay, you can't see exactly the price, but you can see it's between 12 and 20, closer to 20, probably around 18. And sure enough, on the 1-minute column, we have a slow car at 18. We also have the white zone here, which is at 07, and you can see that white zone reflected right there at 07. Okay, so those are the band shades. Here's the lower of the white zone, 94, and at 83. And that corresponds to this band shade here and this band shade, respectively. Now, what about the other numbers, slow cars on each frame? Those correspond to our dynamic Fibonacci retracement lines. Now notice there's 7 lines on each chart, and they're labeled L1 through L7. You can see the values on the upper right-hand side. L1 equals 143.99, L2 equals 44.03, and if I just drag my chart out, we'll see that it goes all the way to L7. The L7 is the slower moving norm line. Very good bounce point. As you can see, it was tested 1, 2, 3 times and broke it and bounced every time. Very reliable line, this L7 line. We happen to call it the norm line, named after one of our veteran traders. But all the line values are sitting here right at top of the chart, so you can reference them very easily. Now, what I want you to notice on the grid is that if the number here is not a band shade like this 18 is, like this 07 is, like this 94 is, and like this 83 is, we're getting some pretty erratic movements here on pound dollar. If it's not a band shade, then it is a line. Okay, it's either L1 through L7. Now notice each column has two boxes. The 1 minute column has two boxes. The 5 minute column has two boxes. The 15 has two boxes. The 60 you don't see any, but there are two boxes. They're just either at the top, which I'm guessing they're above us, or they're below us. But I can tell you they are above us, and you can tell by looking at the chart, but I'll show you how to do that in just a second. In fact, right now. So let's go back to the 1 minute column. We see two boxes at 02 and one at 98. Well, let's look at our L1 and L2. That's what they actually represent. The L1 here says 97. Okay, that is basically just a rounding error. You can see the L1 at 97, which is green, as the color indicates. We follow this green line down, and we see, boom, it ends at 143.97. And that is because it's in red there. That's showing you where this box is. It says 98, but probably because of fractional pips, there's just a rounding issue here. We can see L2 is at 144.02. We can follow that burgundy line, which that is the L2. We can see that that comes to 144.02, and that is the location of our box. So what we're seeing here on each column is all of support and resistance levels on the 1 minute chart in the form of dynamic Fibonacci wave bands and dynamic Fibonacci retracement lines. So these lines, the L1 and L2, which are the first two, are the history of these boxes. So these boxes are telling you exactly where your L1 and L2 are, which are very important lines to us when we're grid trading. All right, so every chart has these, and that's what we're looking at. So basically, when you're looking at these grids, it's like taking, if you look along this edge of the chart here, you see, okay, there's a band shade resistance, there's a band shade resistance, there's a line resistance, there's a line resistance, there's another line, a line, a line, a line. So what we're seeing is this right edge of the chart with all support and resistance laid out in the column. So it would be like taking the 1 minute chart, the 5 minute chart, the 15 minute chart, and the 60 minute chart, and just flipping them so we're not looking at them flat. We're actually looking at the edges of each chart, and we stack them together and we put them right next to each other on these grids. So now we can see where major support and resistance levels line up on multiple time frames. So now we're looking at one grid. We don't even need to look at these charts, only look at them for confirmations, and we can see at a glance what's going on all four time frames. Okay, now look again, I just want to show you this norm line, how accurate this line is. It just comes right to it and bounces right off it. It's a great level to take entries on. And not to mention, if we look at the 15-minute chart, we see the same behavior. There's a norm line on the 15-minute also bouncing the price. And here's an hour norm line bouncing the price. Doesn't matter what time frames are. These levels are highly accurate. One reason why we are as successful as we are as grid traders. Now the only object is to learn how to read these grids. Now I've showed you what they represent, where these numbers come from. Interruption. But now the next goal, after that we've learned what the lines, what the numbers represent, is just to learn how to trade them. And that is not very difficult. We're just waiting for certain patterns of these boxes to form. And then when these boxes form into certain configurations, they present entries and exit signals. And I'll be talking more about that in our future tutorial videos. But once again, I want to thank you for your interest in being a grid trader and trading with the FX MoneyMap via Forex Malibu. And again, this is Sam Shakespeare, and I look forward to trading with you in the future. Be sure to check out the site, forexmalibu.com, and also you may email me with any questions at sam@forexmalibu.com. Thank you all. Have a great day, and I will see you in future installments.